Talk with Mark Hairston. As you might notice, this is not Mark Hairston on the air today. I'm actually Leanna Borsalino. I am his marketing director, and Mark is actually on a little vacation right now, a little R&R in Colorado. So today I am on air and actually have brought onto the air with me a special guest. Her name is Caitlyn Balderas. She's actually my broker at Haven Homes. So say hello.
Hello, thank you for having me, and thank you, Mark, for this opportunity.
Yes. Very excited to have Kate on here. She's actually been a guest before with Mark, but like I said, now that Mark's out of town, we're just gonna take over and have two female voices on the air today. So I'm sure Mark
Yes.
doesn't mind too much. So, but anyway, I know Mark is actually going to be listening in. So what's up, Mark?
Hi,
And
Mark.
hope you have an awesome time in Colorado. Safe flight and enjoy that UT game. So,
Yes.
so
Yeah, I really love working with Mark. What stands out to me the most is I love to tell him he's been doing this longer than I've been alive. So since 1986. And I think that's important to know because he knows everything. He's been through market cycles, he's been through every kind of situation you can think of, and he knows how to look at someone's file and find solutions for potential problems with getting qualified. He can look at all the different loan programs, and he's very easy to work with and communicate with. So I
yeah.
really enjoy working with him, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity to discuss this today.
Yeah. So actually, Caitlin is actually the one that introduced me to Mark. So I actually just got into real estate a little over a year ago. So I am also a realtor, and I joined Haven Homes with Caitlin. I actually met her through a Bible study, and I had a prayer request. And my prayer request was that I remembered everything on the test because I was really nervous, and I heard it was like a 51% pass rate, and I wanted to pass on the first time. And so I just asked, for prayer from everybody to, you know, help me pass on the very first time. And Caitlin pulled me aside afterwards, and she's like, "I don't know if you know this or not, but I have my own brokerage called Haven Homes." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't
Yes,
actually."
answer to prayer, right? You can pass the test and then you can work with me. And yes, it's been wonderful ever since. And I'm super proud of you for how much you have achieved. This young lady is a rock star. She's just
Thank you.
totally killed it her first year. And I'm very, very thankful to have you at Haven Homes.
Thank you. It's an
Yes.
exciting time to get into the industry, that's for sure. So
Yes.
I actually am grateful I got in after everything was awesome and amazing. Apparently, like the dream years for realtors.
Yes.
I missed it all.
Dream and a nightmare a little bit.
But
It was
a little bit
very
of both.
stressful.
But I missed it all. So
Yes.
I missed the height of all that. But I think that might actually be good because I wasn't like, I guess, disillusioned of what it's
Yes.
supposed to be like. And so I've had to work a little bit,
Yeah.
I think, harder.
Right now, I would say we're back into a normal kind of market. We call those years the unicorn years.
Yeah.
I think it's important for homeowners and potential buyers to understand that was an outlier. That is not likely to happen again. We are back into a normal flow of business. We have a normal cycle in the Austin area that kind of goes when school starts, things slow down, and then things pick up right around this time between Labor Day and the holidays, slows down over the holidays, and then picks back up usually around February and then goes until school starts again. So we didn't have that during the unicorn years of the COVID market, but we do. Everything's kind of gone back into normal. So it is still a really good market. I know that a lot of media is negative about it, but I do think that it is a more balanced market. It's more fair for both the buyers and the sellers.
Hmm.
I'm seeing a lot of really good deals for buyers out there. Sellers are still, making good money. It's really a good market. So I get that question a lot. Should I buy? Should I wait? I think especially if you're renting, it really is good to start investing in yourself as soon as possible.
Agreed.
The rates have been a big topic. My favorite phrase right now is marry the house, date the rate. You can refinance the rate later with Mark. And
Right.
so,
Ba-dum-bum-tsh.
yes, I do think that once the rates start to go down, it's going to be a trigger for people to think it's a good deal again. And then it's going to be crazy again. And there's going to be a lot of competition in this market. So if you can secure the lower home price now, you can refinance the rate later and still have a better deal on your house.
Right, absolutely. I would actually completely agree with this. I was yesterday, I think I was on social media and I was watching some videos and someone said that uh, they thought that the Airbnb market was going to crash everything and cause it all to burn. And I thought about that for a minute because I've actually been working with quite a few clients in Airbnbs right now. Um, one one particular pair of clients are my parents.
Mhm.
So, which by the way, today is their 42nd anniversary. So happy
Happy
anniversary to my
anniversary.
parents, Dan and Cynthia Borsellino.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
anyway, they bought an Airbnb last year in Waco. And this was, the first deal that I had done. And they broke even within 10 months.
That's amazing. I am a really big proponent of actually not even consuming media except for from trusted sources because their goal is just to drive fear. And so I definitely say look at the people you know and real people and get information that way
Right.
because there are still tons of success in the Airbnb market.
Absolutely. I actually think it's kind of ridiculous to even hear that. And they're
Yep.
trying to put a lot of regulations on it because people are being so successful in the Airbnb
Right.
market. So you
Right.
really need to look at that, like follow the money. The hotel industry doesn't want people in the Airbnb business anymore. They're kind of trying to monopolize that,
Yep.
stopping people from being able to do Airbnbs.
Definitely.
So that's really what people should be paying attention to.
Yep.
So,
I try to share a lot of data because
mhm,
data doesn't lie, as
exactly.
long as it's from a trusted source. And so I try to share a lot of long-term data. So when you look at rates over decades, 7, 6 is actually pretty low. I mean, if
Hmm.
you ask anyone who bought a house in the 80s, like they're like 12%,
Yep.
17%, and people still bought houses. So we just got accustomed to a 3%, 4% rate because the government was buying the mortgage bonds for 15 years to get us out of the Great Recession of 2008. And they're not doing that anymore. So I would say it's probably expected to stay in the fives for a long time at least, but that is still a really good deal when you look at historical data. So data over media and fear is my motto.
Yes, I completely agree with that. Okay, so right now, how would you say you're doing currently with clients and how is business within the Haven Homes? I mean, I kind of know how everything's going, but
Yeah.
our listeners don't. So,
Yeah.
what's going on with Haven Homes right now?
Well, I would say it's going really well. Those couple of years that were really crazy, it has continued to be very successful for myself and the agents at Haven Homes.
How many
Um,
agents are there at Haven
there's
Homes?
5 agents,
Mhm.
and I'm very proud of every single one of them. When I hear a lot of chatter on some of the realtor message boards that they're slow, that they can't find enough business, that's not true with my agents. I've seen them be very busy and very successful, and so I'm proud of them. And for me personally, I follow all the trends. I keep up with all of the market data, and I believe in pricing things really well so that they don't sit on the market for a long time. So, kind of had a good sample this summer where I put up 5 listings within a month, and 4 out of the 5 sold within a week. One sold
Wow.
within the month, and that really is a great sign of our market that when you price
Yeah,
things
that's awesome,
correctly, yeah,
actually.
they sell well. And so all my clients were very happy. They were able to move on to their next chapters. And so that's what I'm seeing on the listing side. I'm seeing that if you are appropriately pricing things, they're selling quickly. For the buyers, I'm seeing them being able to get their closing costs covered sometimes. Again, we had none of that during the unicorn years, but during this market,
Mhm.
it can be part of the negotiation, and especially in new construction. They are buying down the rates sometimes, and then they're also covering a lot of the closing costs. So at the end of the day, my goal is to help my clients invest in their future, whether it is their primary residence or an investment property. If you invest in property, that over decades is the best long-term investment you can make. So we're not talking about short game, we're talking about long game. So if you have to live somewhere anyway, you might as well be paying yourself.
Right.
If you have extra money to invest, it would be wise to invest into a property, have someone else pay the mortgage for you, and build equity over time. So I'm very passionate about that. Actually, our tagline for Haven Homes is investing in dreams through real estate, because once you have that equity, you can buy the dream house, or you can get a home equity line of credit or sell the house and use that equity to start a business or help your children with college or pay for weddings or whatever it is that you want to do, you can achieve those dreams through the equity that you're earning. And I just think as believers, we are to be responsible in the money that God gives us. And so investing it is a wise thing for your legacy, for your future. Homeowners, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but homeowners have a very, very high level of wealth compared to renters because of their home, and the equity in their home. So
Right.
I'm very passionate about that. And also teaching the agents that work with me to impart that wisdom to their clients as well.
Right. So Haven Homes is actually located in Round Rock,
Yes.
Texas. So if there's any agents out there who are Christians and are looking for a brokerage to join that's a little bit smaller, or maybe, you don't really want to go to like Keller Williams, which not throwing shade at Keller Williams or anything
I
like
was
that.
at Keller Williams. It's a great brokerage as well, but it is a different feel. So we are a boutique brokerage. So I started this company. God gave me the idea. I actually asked God if he was crazy, but obviously he's not. So he showed me how to start this brokerage completely on my own. So I'm not affiliated with any other kind of corporate structure. And he just put these things in my heart of wanting to have a company that helped other people be successful, that had affordable splits and caps, which is a real estate term for how we, get paid and how much we pay into the brokerage. And just really wanted to provide one-on-one training, support, coaching, trainings. Just wanted to provide what I felt like were some of the things that made me successful. I started at a small boutique Christian company. I actually started with the realtor that sold me my house, and shout out to Jason and Frank. Wouldn't be here without y'all. So I just really appreciated how they trained me, and I wanted to take that into my company. And so um, that's the goal. The goal is for all of the agents who work for me to be successful. A lot of brokerages will just hire anybody, and some you might do a deal or two a year. My goal is for all of my agents to be doing this full time and at the level that they want to be doing it, but that they can provide a life for their family that they wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Right. And I'll actually say that I'm now in my second year of real estate, but within the first 8 months of working and having my license, I capped.
Yes.
And I think I
So proud of
surprised
you.
Kate a little bit
Yeah.
there. She wasn't prepared for me to cap so quickly, which
I was all about it.
pleasantly
I was happy.
surprised.
Yes.
But we went out and celebrated, and
Yeah.
we went to Jack Allen's and had a really awesome dinner, and it was just a lot of fun. And so I also think that Kate does a great job at just making sure that all of the agents that are working there know that they're appreciated. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I'm like a little mama. I'm like really proud of all of you. And every time you have a success, it just makes me happy. And just want to support all of the agents in whatever ways they need. And I think too, like when I started this, I have 4 children. My youngest was 1. I mean, he was a baby. And so I appreciated that Jason would work around my schedule for training. So, sometimes the only time to write the contract or do the training is after the kids go to bed. And I'm happy to accommodate that because I know how hard it is to be a working mom. And for real estate doesn't sleep and it doesn't have normal hours, and
That's
so
right. Oh my God.
yes. So you just have to accommodate everybody, but I'm happy to do it.
Okay, so if there's anybody out there that's listening that is interested in either listing their home or are wanting to buy, or maybe there's a realtor out there, an agent that's kind of not wanting to be at the brokerage that they're working at anymore and might like to join Haven Homes and be with around people that will pray for you and are connected to the Holy Spirit, as I'd like to say.
Yes.
But how can people get a hold of you and Haven Homes and website, phone number,
Sure.
email, all that stuff?
Yes. So the easiest way is usually through social media. So our name on social media is at Haven Homes Austin on everything. So Instagram and Facebook primarily. Our website is havenhomesaustin.com. My phone number is 512-999-3733. All of those ways I'm completely accessible. And then you can also check us out and see, what we do. I try to make real estate as fun and peaceful as possible. It is listed in the top 5 most stressful things that people ever go through in their life,
Yeah.
right behind, I think it's death and
Divorce.
divorce, and then it's moving. And
Yeah.
so I part of my what God has given me in my personality is just I really want everyone to be as calm and peaceful as possible. So I try to provide that through just expertise and guidance and taking the fear out of it, but then also trying to make it a little funny because then it just takes away the pressure. But
Right.
I really do try to impart that to every single client and every single agent I work with. For there's also on the website, if you click buy or sell, that will take you to a page that gives us a little more information about what you're looking for, and it'll send it straight to us so we can reach out to you. And then if you're an agent that's thinking about coming over, making a change for your brokerage, you can contact me through there. We can get coffee, we can have a phone call and talk about what it would be like to work together. And I'm always looking for agents that, even if you're not an agent yet, if you're wanting to become an agent, I'm happy to have that conversation with you on what it looks like. And I'll be honest and realistic with you. And then for agents that are already experienced, just people with high integrity, biblical principles, just treating others how you want to be treated, always putting the client's needs before your own, having a really hard work ethic, because at the end of the day, we're working for the Lord. So,
Mhm.
we need to, especially if we're going to advertise that we're a Christian company and we're Christian agents, we need to really take that seriously because we don't want to dishonor the Lord. So we need to listen to the Holy Spirit and how we run our business. And so I'm definitely always open to having more agents that fit that profile.
Awesome. Also, if you do reach out, please make sure to mention that you heard us here on the radio at the bridge.
Yes.
So, and if you're looking to get pre-approved first, because that's always like the first step is to get pre-approved,
Yes.
Mark is a great lender. So reach out to Mark. You
Yes.
can email him, Mark at markhairston.com, and he will take care of you. So,
Yes, and I have a company policy actually that I don't let any of the agents show properties without a pre-qualification,
yeah.
mainly because we don't want to get anyone's hopes up on something that they can't have. I don't think that's nice.
Right. And thank you
So,
for that, Kate, by
yes,
the way.
you're welcome. So, definitely, if you reach out to us, that's going to be our first question, and it's not for any reason other than we want to serve you well. So then we would connect you with Mark, who has a super easy process to get pre-qualified. And some people get a little afraid of getting pre-qualified, and I want to take all the fear out of that. It is
Mhm.
never a no. It's either a yes or yes if you do these things. So if
Right.
Mark says, "Hey, I can't qualify you right now, but if you do this, this and this, then you're good to go." Then we know how the price range to show you in houses. We know that you can actually have something if you find something you want.
Right.
So it is just all around best practice to do that. And Mark makes it very, very easy for you.
Absolutely. Actually, I was kind of curious if you could tell I mean, I know you've worked on several deals
Oh,
with
many
Mark.
deals with Mark. Yes.
Let's reflect or have some nostalgia here.
Okay.
One of your awesome deals that you've had with Mark. Just
Sure.
talk about it a little bit since
Yeah.
Mark, I hope you're listening.
Yes. I mean, they've all been very smooth for the most part. If they're not smooth, it's never Mark's fault. So I had some clients, they're actually my friend's parents, and they wanted to move here to be closer to them. And it was a little complicated. They had a house to sell in California, and
Hmm.
then we were going to be contingent on their purchase here. And there was just a lot of moving parts on it. And um, it was all being handled remotely as well because they were still in California. So he just really came in and handled everything so smoothly. We had a couple bumps in the road on the sale side of their house in California, and he was able to navigate everything really easily, communicate really well. And, it's kind of funny because I have a lot of relocation clients, and sometimes we don't meet each other until closing, or if they close remotely, I don't meet them in person till later. And so I was visiting those clients, and Dan and Coco Graham, and they said, "You know what? We never met Mark. And he was so great. And I'd love to meet him." And I said, "Oh, let's do this." So we just recently here, we went out to lunch together, the four of us, and
Where'd
just
y'all go eat?
we went to Papados.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And it was lovely. And Mark treated us, which was very, very generous and kind. None of us were expecting that.
And Mark is a very generous
he's
person.
very, very generous person. And so we really enjoyed ourselves and connected and got to put faces to voices. And I just think that speaks a lot to who Mark is as a person and as a businessman, that he owns the company. He is the owner of Texas Mortgage Source.
Mhm.
But he's still willing to go out and meet his clients face to face. And I just really enjoy working with him.
Yeah, I would absolutely say that. I don't know if I've met anybody that goes to the lengths that he does to make sure that his clients feel appreciated.
Yeah.
So, and that's not just clients for buyers, it's also agents.
Yes,
So
definitely. Well, I think another thing that stood out to me working with Mark is he doesn't really advertise. Like, he does stuff like this where people can hear about him, but he's providing a service and education through this program. But then on top of it, he just treats his realtors very well. He does trainings for them, gifts and lunches, and I think that's the smartest way to be in business. My son actually is thinking about being a mortgage lender.
Oh,
And I
really?
told him, you need to train with Mark. You need to see how he does it, because he's kept this business going through all of these ups and downs of the real estate cycle. And I think he has an excellent business model.
Are you talking about your son Tucker?
My son Tucker, he's 17, and
Oh.
yes, he's thinking about being a mortgage lender.
Oh, we'll have to mention that to Mark.
Yes.
So very cool.
He's met Mark, actually.
Oh, okay.
He went out to
Yeah,
lunch
yeah.
with him and shared with him some stuff about being a lender.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about with Mark's character. So that's really
Yes.
awesome. Well, let's see what else we mentioned. Just a little bit of the market going on right now. I actually have, let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, we actually now work in Waco. So I've been
Yes.
having a lot of business in Waco, which is kind of interesting that I've had so many deals
Yes.
going on in Waco.
Yeah. So for Haven Homes, we have a very large market area. So we do all of the Austin area, but we are now extending, like Leanna said, into Temple, Belton, Waco. We joined the Waco board so that we can serve clients up there. So if you have anyone interested up there, we can help them. And then going south, I mean, we really can go to San Marcos. We can go out to Dripping Springs. We can go pretty far east and west. Like, we have a very large market area. So if you are interested in any of those more outlying areas, we definitely have people that can help you. So if you have any questions at all about the areas we work or how we work, or like just getting started, I think that's seems to be a barrier for some people, is like, how I don't even know where to start. And that's where we come in. We would love to guide you through the process and hold your hand through it. So, for buyers, like we discussed, it starts with getting pre-qualified, and then we go over the whole process with you. With sellers, it starts with preparing your home for listing, usually decluttering a little bit, maybe just doing some touch-ups around the house. And we will guide you through that process all the way, come in, check in, help you in any way we can, and then, list the home and get it sold, hopefully quickly.
Right. I actually have some clients. We're going to hopefully be going live in the next 2 weeks here. And I just went to their house, and they're still in the decluttering process phase. And I also recommended that they power wash the outside of their front of their house, because it's all white brick.
Yep.
And I mean, a simple power wash would really clean that up, make it look sharp.
Yeah, it's not as much as people usually think it is to get the house ready, but there's these small things that you can do that are very affordable that
make a huge difference in the sale.
And I always tell people, we don't call it decluttering, we call it pre-packing, because you're moving anyway. So let's just go ahead and put some of it in boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, real quick, a little perk for myself. I'm just going to throw this out here, which, by the way, my email is Leanna, Leanna, at havenhomesaustin.com. If you'd like to reach out to me. But my background is actually in filmmaking. I've been a filmmaker for 15 years. And I've won awards all over the world.
Yes, she's amazing.
A little over 40 awards. So for a documentary that I made called Another Child. But I do offer extra services of making reels. I have a drone, so I can do drone video, and I don't charge anything extra for any of that.
Yeah.
So I do think that's a little bit of a perk, and just a little shameless plug for myself right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually think that if you contact us and you say that you heard us on this program, we'd be willing to give you a credit at closing. So just make sure
Yeah.
you mention that if you are interested in working with us. A little perk for our friends on the radio. So I'm just so thankful that you had me on today, that we could talk about real estate and talk about Jesus. And I just think it's
Yeah.
really, really cool how God weaves all of our stories together
Amen.
and that we get to work together.
So real quick, if you need to get pre-approved, that's the first step. Contact Mark at markhairston.com. And if you would like to reach out to us because you need an agent, how can they contact you, Kate?
Through the website, havenhomesaustin.com.
And what's a good phone number to reach you at?
512-999-3733.
And my phone number, by the way, is 310-502-8452. And again, I work for Haven Homes, and Kate is my broker.
Yes.
And Mark is a really awesome lender that we enjoy working with. So
Yes.
thank you all for tuning in today. Have a blessed week. Mark, we hope that you have a safe flight back. And when you get back, we're ready to hit the ground filming again. So, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Have
tuning
a
in.